Hey everyone, and welcome to Traumland Erlebnispark. This park will be a fictional park series located in a German-speaking country in Europe. This is my first ever park series on YouTube and will be heavily inspired on the Tripsdale theme park in Germany. This park will be a cute regional theme park with international ambition, and I have to explain a bit of the background over here. So the coaster in front of me is not the first coaster in the park, and I have to explain that to you. So in front of me is already a park, and the reason for it is that this park was already made about a year ago. The only problem is that I don't really like it anymore. It just has a kind of theme and vibe to it that is not what I want to achieve in this kind of theme park, and that's why I'm going to redesign the entire park with a new theme, a new layout and new rides. And the first ride that is going to be built in this new park is of course the ride we have today. So that's basically it, and we will now jump into the first person camera to view the new coaster. So here we are at the entrance to the new coaster area, and in front of me here are some train tracks with a train crossing. It does not use any bells or rings. The people just know when they have to go away when the train is ringing or honking. And then you can cross these nice yellow lines and into the new area. So we have here our nice little toy box fence, which fits really well with this kind of theme and vibe, and some custom lamppost. So this really is meant to give a kind of farm theme, and that's also what I want to go for. So in front of us we have this nice moving windmill, adding some movement to the area alongside the coaster, so it looks a little bit more alive and joyful. And then we head up here and come into the plaza in front of the ride. So here you have a little haystack and some benches to sit around when you don't want to ride the coaster but your friends for example are. And the exit to the right in here, which we will go to later. So the ride is called Schafflug, and Schafflug means sheep flight. And we will now enter the queue line. So we can go down here underneath the track leaving the station and around the first turnaround of the coaster. I don't know if it's leaving right now. No, we can just wait for it to come. So we have all these little signs in German with some kind of jokes about what you can expect. And I won't explain them to you, but here comes the train, and we have a nice sound effect going into the first lounge, and you are launched off. And we have also this little guy right here controlling the lounge bed. So for realism purposes we have a little gate right here for staff to access the lounge area for when the ride is stuck and people have to need to be evacuated, or for foliage work around the coaster itself. So then you can follow the queue line over here into this nice kettle pen, having a nice view on the layout of the coaster. And then coming around here into the kettle pen building. And we'll quickly walk around here. So here we have a nice cartoon explaining the story of the ride. So we basically have some sheep and they are put into this catapult, and that catapult is powered by this windmill. And then they are shoot off into the sky and they can fly for a little and then land safely back down into the grass and enjoy the rest of their life. Yeah, a really easy story to explain, and it's actually quite funny. And we have also this little Easter egg on top here with a sheep hanging on a bucket on the ceiling. And these nice modern lights which are inspired on Minerals build, thank you for that. So then we can come up again into the station building. So we come around here and up the stairs and enter into the station building. So this is kept basically simple but nice and clean enough. So we have row numbers right here and the amount of people fitting each row. Across the train you can store your bags, and in German the word for bags as well. And these doors will slide open for which train is in the station, so your bags won't be picked up by anyone else. So this station has a barn kind of feeling. It's just basically a massive barn where trains depart from. And we have some sheep hanging at the ceiling and other funny stuff. And this nice little support beam which supports the coaster and is actually really useful for hanging these little signs. And I also have to thank Mineral for this idea of using these comma pieces to create this nice little arch. So then we come to the train and also to these little plates just for some realism purposes. So the trains are basically just flying sheep where they are screaming a little, but they look actually very funny. And also these paws sticking out, which looks really nice, and them screaming at the back of the train. So at the other side of the station we can see this power track running underneath the platform. This is to power the train so the seat belts can be unlocked, otherwise you won't be able to unlock the seat belts, which is for safety reasons. And when staff is done checking the seat belts, they can stand over here and on this side to push the button so the train is ready to leave the station. And also over here is the booth for the staff to stand and have a nice little view on the coaster itself. So then we can come around here, and this way you exit the station building again. This is also where disabled people can wait for staff to let them in, and they can come up here to this ramp so they don't have to climb the stairs, and this coaster is disabled friendly as well. And then we can come down here again alongside the ramp down into the main plaza. And now we can also go a little backstage. So over here we have this nice little gate, and if we go through we have this backstage area with some trash cans and other stuff that can be used in backstage areas. And this is the building with some AC units where the trains are stored when they are not used. And here we have a little fence to enter to the brake run switch track underneath the station, and the spiral staircase leading to the mid-course brake run for evacuating people or maintenance purposes. So that is almost it. There is also a maintenance road coming alongside the coaster itself. We're crossing these train tracks with a train passing by right now. And then going through this gate onto the road leading alongside the park. So this is how maintenance can easily exit and enter the maintenance area without having to come through the park itself. So that is basically it. I hope you enjoyed this little video about my new creations, and I hope to see you in the next episode where we are building further on this new redesign of my park. Thank you as always for supporting my channel, and please like and subscribe and leave comments if you have some nice ideas for the park or any feedback. I will leave a POV and cinematics at the end, and I will see you next time. Bye.